Boot camp. This is the word that came in this morning when I was tuning in with my guides and really focusing in on the work that I do as I'm going through a really deep process of reorganizing and restructuring who I am at the deepest level as it relates to the services that I provide. And I grinned when this word came in, and I kind of chuckled to myself and thought, boot camp, well, that's totally not relatable. And then they started to share with me something really beautiful, and I want to share it today because those of you that have been following me for some time remember how I spoke about the phrase, prepare the sisters, that came in about a year and a half ago. And it was very, very strong. And it has been unfolding in these past years, I would say. And so I said, okay, so let's go a little deeper into the boot camp piece. And then I fully understood that it was like not boot camp for the soul, but it was a soul boot camp. And I thought about that, and, all of us have seen movies where, you see a recruit and they're in boot camp and it's tough and they're struggling and they're, sweating, and it's like, why on earth did I come here? And I laughed again, because how many of us have said at some point on our journey here on earth, oh my God, like, why did I come here? What am I doing here? And I think about that, we chose to incarnate in this lifetime. And if it were easy, everyone would do it, right? Like, everyone would be here and everyone would be in boot camp. But some of us didn't just sign up for Earth boot camp, soul boot camp. Some of us signed up for the SEAL team, like the elite task forces that we know are here to do extraordinary things and to serve at a different level. And so I was just pondering this thought and just realizing that throughout our lifetime, like those that are drawn to me, to my frequency, to what I have to offer to this collective time, and to the collective, is so much depth and so much power and so much activation and initiation. And I know I've sat and I've witnessed and I've held space for just really powerful people who are going through a difficult time. They're going through a phase of boot camp that they really just don't want to be going through. And I realized that, the challenges and the initiations that come through that are presented to us, they're just here to refine us and to help us to refine our skills and to expand our gifts and our talents. And it allows us to go to this place within ourselves sometimes that we didn't even know we had, number one, and we didn't even know that we had access to. It's like this door opens, this portal opens when we're going through a life initiation that opens something with us that we didn't even know that we had. And so then we get to see that life's initiations and life's challenges are then a gift. Like, can we see how soul boot camp or any kind of boot camp is a gift, because it's preparing us. It's helping us to strip away the ways of being. And I think of that like in literal terms, an actual boot camp. It's like your schedule changes, your rituals change, what you eat changes, like how you do life changes, right? Well, the only way that we come out being changed from the experience is if we just fully embrace it and say, okay, in some way, in some level, in some part of me, I chose this to learn, to grow, to evolve. And that doesn't mean that every challenging time is here to teach you some great mysterious teaching. No, sometimes life just happens. Like we are here in a 3D dense reality, and sometimes it's just challenging. It doesn't mean that we give up or quit or give up on our passions and our dreams and give up on service. No, we always find a way to make it through, don't we? I think if we looked back, I don't always like to look back because then sometimes we get back into the story, back into the feeling and the emotion of what we were going through, and that's not always healthy. If we can glean something from what has happened, but if we take just a glimpse back and say, "Oh, I can see how this experience showed me this or taught me this or revealed this gift," then we realize that what we're in, it just softens the blow. It softens those sharp edges where we say, okay, this is my fire. This is my refinement. This is my boot camp moment where I'm being guided to evolve through this. And doesn't that take the sting away if we just say, okay, I will become a more aligned version through this experience, through this challenge, through this initiation? And I think about, in boot camp, you're doing something as a collective, right? And it's obviously for the military. And so I don't want us to hold on to that visual, because I want you to see that what I'm saying is very soul based, and that those of us who are here are part of that collective something. But what if it's just to align us more to the blueprint that our soul laid out for us in this life? And so the obstacle courses that we experience, it's part of the blueprint of aligning us to our highest self, to our most potent and active and alive expression in this life. And it's forcing us to go through something and to step into creator mode, because then we get to create our life and not just always be in reaction mode. And I see these obstacles in life as that we get to surmount something, that we get to, learn. And I think of water so much when I think of obstacles. Like we always want to just, climb over something or break it apart. What if we just flowed around it and just allowed that obstacle to be a guidepost of something, a guidepost that we're in the right route, that we're headed in the right direction. So I wanted to just be just short and sweet and potent, and an activation of sorts for the sisters that I know I am here to support in some way, even if that means that you never step into one of my containers or offerings or services or join the free calls or whatever it is. You never, do anything with me. It's okay, because I know that this message is reaching those that it is meant for. And if that's you, just take a moment and just let that land, that the obstacles and the challenges are part of your soul boot camp in this lifetime to prepare you for what you came for. And I can't name what that is, but you maybe have an idea of what that is for yourself. Maybe you know that there's more that you came here for and you're just not quite there yet. Or maybe you're on the path and it's challenging. Like you're on the right path because you're coming up against yourself, and maybe yourself and your beliefs and your systems and your patterns and the stories that you tell yourself is actually the obstacle. Maybe it's not something external at all. Maybe it's not, financial or health related or, a problem with someone else. Maybe it's just the obstacle is you. And that may sound harsh, but wow, have I been there? Sometimes the stories that I tell myself, when they pop up and start repeating, I say, oh gosh, that is an outdated story. It never served me to begin with. And it's time to transmute that one, burn it up, and write a new one. So maybe it's just time for you to rewrite a new story, to shift a belief, to allow your emotional response to something to be different, to not always step into overwhelm or frustration, but to step into possibility and belief in who you are and why you came. So if you're still here with me and you're listening, thank you. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you for signing up for Soul Bootcamp. Thank you for being on this path with me. I see you. And I hope that these words have in some way stoked the flame within your soul and helped you to see something within your life that you needed to see in order to move on and to create something beautiful and meaningful in your life. Sending you so much love and support for your path, dear sister. Thank you.